I call him up out of the blue, and I don't have a clue who he is. And I said, hey, I've got this 69. Do you want to buy it? And he says, what do you want for it? And I said, no, I don't know, 11,000 or whatever type thing. And he didn't end up buying the car. He tried grinding me.
When Peter Klutt finally spoke about Dennis Collins, it stirred curiosity in the car world. But what really happened that made Klutt break his silence? Was it rivalry, friendship, or something deeper? Join us as we uncover the truth behind their surprising connection. The rift between two car legends. Peter Klutt has never been just another name in the automotive world. For decades, he has been a towering figure in the realm of classic and collector cars. As the founder of legendary motor car company, his life's work has revolved around breathing new life into rare, historic vehicles and preserving their value for generations to come. For over 30 years, his workshop has been home to some of the most remarkable restorations, each handled with unmatched care and expertise. His knowledge, combined with a genuine love for automobiles, became the foundation for his long-running television series, Legendary Motor Car, a show that let audiences peek inside the exciting, high-pressure world of buying, restoring, and selling some of the most coveted cars in existence. Peter's reputation was built not just on his skills, but on his integrity. In a business where details matter as much as passion, he became known for absolute honesty, an eye for authenticity, and meticulous attention to even the smallest elements of a restoration. This combination earned him respect not only from collectors across North America, but also from fellow car experts. One of these was Dennis Collins, another well-known name in the industry and a popular TV personality. Over the years, the two appeared together on various occasions, always giving off the image of professionals who shared mutual admiration. Fans enjoyed seeing them on screen, sharing knowledge, and celebrating the beauty of classic cars side by side. That image, however, shattered in a moment that no one expected. The incident happened during a nationally televised broadcast, a program viewers had eagerly tuned in for. The episode promised an exciting segment where Peter and Dennis would present and discuss an extraordinary classic vehicle. It was the kind of collaboration fans loved, two respected figures, one rare car, and the thrill of discovering its history and value. But what started as a celebration of craftsmanship quickly took a sharp and uncomfortable turn. During a live appraisal, Dennis Collins did something no one, least of all Peter, saw coming. Without alerting Peter or the production crew, he questioned the authenticity of the car, which had come directly from Peter's shop. With a casual tone, but words that cut deep, Dennis suggested that some people have a habit of polishing rust. On the surface, it could have passed as a throwaway comment, but anyone familiar with the world of collector cars understood the weight of such a statement. It implied that the car's appearance might have been misleading, that beneath the shine there could be flaws deliberately left hidden. The camera briefly caught Peter's reaction. He didn't flinch outwardly, but it was clear the remark had landed hard. This wasn't friendly teasing or light banter. It was a public swipe at his credibility. The atmosphere in the studio shifted instantly, and audiences at home noticed. Social media lit up within minutes of the broadcast, viewers debating whether the moment was genuine tension or just dramatization for television. Clips of the exchange began circulating, each replay reinforcing the sting of Dennis's words. For Peter, the moment was more than just awkward. It was personal. In the high-stakes world of classic car collecting, trust is the foundation of every deal. A restorer's word about a vehicle's history, quality, and originality can make the difference between a car being worth hundreds of thousands or just a fraction of that. Any doubt cast on that trust, especially in such a public way, can leave lasting scars. Still on camera, Peter handled it with composure. He responded politely, offering a clear but measured rebuttal, and continued the segment without escalating the situation. Yet those who knew him well could see that the exchange had left him unsettled. Once the camera stopped rolling, he immediately sought out Dennis for a private conversation. Witnesses later described Peter as calm but firm, asking for an explanation about why such a statement was made without any prior discussion. In later interviews, Peter expressed how deeply the moment affected him. He had dedicated his career to building a name people could trust. To have that questioned, and in such a sudden and public way, felt like an undeserved blow. He avoided attacking Dennis directly in the media, instead choosing to release a thoughtful statement online. In it, he clarified the vehicle's full history, supported by documentation, and reaffirmed his company's commitment to complete transparency. Fans, collectors, and even some industry rivals respected the way he handled the fallout. Many came to his defense, praising his professionalism and refusal to get pulled into a public feud. Still, the damage was done. His name, which for decades had been synonymous with quality and honesty, had now been pulled into a controversy that played out in front of millions. Even without proof of wrongdoing, the seed of doubt planted by Dennis's comment was hard to erase entirely. This was not simply about a disagreement between two car experts. It was about the invisible currency of trust that drives the collector car market. A single remark, whether careless or intentional, could cause potential buyers to hesitate, even if only for a moment. That hesitation can ripple into long-term consequences. The silence that followed between Peter and Dennis told its own story. The easy camaraderie they once displayed on camera was gone. No joint appearances, no casual photos from events, no public signs of reconciliation. For those who had admired their partnership, it was a disappointment. For Peter, it was a turning point. But before we dive into more details of this rivalry, let's dive into how the legendary motor car company was created. The history of Legendary Motor Car Company. Legendary Motor Car Company is a well-known name in the world of classic and exotic automobiles, founded and led by Canadian car expert Peter Klutt. Based in Halton Hills, Ontario, the company has built a global reputation for dealing in some of the rarest, most valuable, and most sought-after vehicles in the world. From vintage muscle cars to European exotics, Legendary Motor Car has become a hub for serious collectors, enthusiasts, and anyone who has a passion for automotive history. The company doesn't just buy and sell cars, it restores them to pristine condition, often bringing decades-old machines back to life with meticulous attention to detail. This dedication to quality is one of the reasons it stands out in the competitive world of high-end automotive trading. Peter Klutt, the driving force behind Legendary Motor Car, grew up with a deep love for cars. Over the years, he turned that passion into a business empire that goes beyond just the sale of rare vehicles. His vision for the company was not only to create a place where classic cars could be bought and sold, but also where they could be fully restored and preserved for future generations. The company's restoration shop is known for handling some of the most challenging projects, often transforming worn-out shells into show-winning masterpieces. Every project is approached with the same level of precision and respect for originality, making Legendary Motor Car a trusted name among top-tier collectors. What also sets Legendary Motor Car apart is its presence in the media. The company gained international recognition through the reality television series Legendary Motor Car, which aired on various automotive-focused channels. The show offered viewers a behind-the-scenes look at the daily operations of the business, from high-stakes negotiations to intricate restoration work. Peter's charisma, deep knowledge of the market, and straightforward approach resonated with audiences, helping the show develop a strong following. The series also served as a showcase for the incredible variety of cars that passed through the company's doors, from multi-million-dollar Ferraris to perfectly restored American muscle cars. Peter Klutt is more than just a businessman. He is deeply embedded in the collector car world. Over the decades, he has become known as a trusted figure whose word carries weight. His understanding of provenance, originality, and market trends allows him to guide clients through acquisitions that are as much investments as they are personal treasures. Many of the cars that pass through Legendary Motor Car have storied histories. Whether they were once raced by famous drivers, featured in films, or owned by celebrities, Klutt's ability to connect these vehicles with the right buyers has helped build his reputation as a matchmaker in the collector car community. The company's facility itself is a testament to its prestige. Housing dozens of rare and valuable vehicles at any given time, the showroom is more like a museum than a traditional dealership. Every car is displayed with care, allowing visitors to appreciate the craftsmanship and history that make these machines special. The restoration department is equally impressive, equipped with the tools and expertise to handle everything from engine rebuilds to concourse-level detailing. Clients from around the world have entrusted Legendary Motor Car with their prized possessions, confident that the results will be nothing short of exceptional. In addition to buying, selling, and restoring vehicles, Legendary Motor Car has also played a role in the auction scene. Peter Klutt has been a familiar face at major auction houses, where his eye for value and authenticity has often been in the spotlight. His involvement in the broader collector community, combined with his company's strong brand, means that Legendary Motor Car is often a destination for vehicles of exceptional quality. This prominence has helped solidify the company's standing as one of the most respected names in the industry. Peter's approach to business has always been rooted in integrity and a love for the craft. While the high-end car market can be fiercely competitive, he has built his career on transparency and trust. This philosophy has allowed him to maintain long-term relationships with clients, many of whom return to Legendary Motor Car repeatedly over the years. His work has inspired countless enthusiasts to pursue their own automotive dreams, whether by acquiring their first collector car or by undertaking a full restoration project. Over time, the company has handled some truly remarkable vehicles. From historically significant racing cars to one-off prototypes, the inventory at Legendary Motor Car reflects both Peter's refined taste and his ability to source the rarest machines. Each car that comes through the doors is treated with the respect it deserves, whether it is destined for a private collection, a public auction, or a concours event. This careful handling is part of what makes Legendary Motor Car a trusted name in a market where authenticity and condition are everything. Even as the automotive world evolves with increasing interest in electric vehicles and new technology, Legendary Motor Car remains firmly committed to the preservation of classic and historically important cars. Peter Klutt continues to be an active voice in the community, advocating for the appreciation of these machines not just as investments, but as pieces of art and history. His dedication ensures that the legacy of Legendary Motor Car will endure, attracting both seasoned collectors and new enthusiasts who share his passion. Ultimately, Legendary Motor Car Company stands as a blend of museum, dealership, and restoration shop, all built on a foundation of expertise and love for the automobile. Peter Klutt's leadership has been central to its success, and his reputation as an honest, knowledgeable, and passionate figure continues to attract the world's most discerning car enthusiasts. From its Canadian headquarters, the company's influence reaches far beyond national borders, shaping the global conversation about the preservation and celebration of classic cars. Now that we understand the efforts that were put in creating this company, we can now explore Klutt's reaction towards Collins' public comments. When friendship turns into rivalry in the spotlight. Peter and Dennis were far more than casual work partners. Over the years, they had built a strong professional bond. They collaborated on car deals, appeared together on television segments, and attended major industry events side by side. To those who watched them from the outside, there seemed to be a mutual respect holding their partnership together. But beneath the polished smiles and shared screen time, tension was quietly growing. Insiders whispered about a shift in Dennis's attitude. As Peter's reputation in the collector car world began to rise, Dennis appeared to grow more competitive. Rumors spread of past disagreements over car valuations, disputes about profit shares, and even arguments about who got more television exposure. None of these issues reached the public eye, but those close to both men sensed an undercurrent of rivalry building over time. On the day of the television taping, there was no visible sign of trouble. Peter believed the episode would highlight their shared passion for rare and valuable cars. He expected a smooth, friendly shoot that would showcase their combined expertise. What he did not anticipate was a moment that would leave him stunned and hurt. Some now believe Dennis arrived that day with a plan, an intent to undermine Peter in a way that seemed spontaneous but had been carefully thought out. Whether it was driven by jealousy, ego, or something more personal, the act carried the weight of betrayal. For Peter, this was the most difficult part to accept. He never imagined that someone he had worked so closely with would take such a public shot at his credibility. Dennis Collins, with his bold personality and long-standing influence in the car community, showed no signs of regret after the incident. When questioned, he brushed off the matter, insisting it was nothing more than casual, unfiltered conversation. In his view, it was just the kind of blunt talk that happens in the industry. However, the audience and many fellow professionals saw it differently. To some fans, Dennis's remarks came across as refreshingly honest. But to many others, they crossed a professional boundary, especially given the years of partnership and trust between him and Peter. For Peter, the televised remark struck at the very foundation of his career. His reputation was built on trust, authenticity, and delivering top-quality restorations. Now, the shadow of Dennis's comment had planted seeds of doubt in the minds of viewers. Dennis never issued a public apology. He held firmly to his stance that it was nothing personal, simply business. Whether it was a calculated move to gain an edge or an offhand comment delivered without thought, one thing was clear. Dennis had no intention of repairing the damage anytime soon. The fallout was more than a moment of awkward television. It was a deep personal wound for Peter, coupled with professional harm that could not easily be undone. A partnership once seen as strong and mutually respectful had unraveled before the public's eyes, leaving behind a story of friendship turned rivalry, a reminder that in the world of high-stakes business and public image, trust can be broken in an instant. Peter Klutt's turning point. Despite many fans rushing to defend him, whispers still drifted online, questioning if there was any truth to Dennis's public jab. The impact quickly reached Peter's business, Legendary Motor Car Company. A few promising deals were suddenly put on hold, and even loyal, long-time clients began requesting more detailed checks on provenance and documentation. No wrongdoing was ever found, because there was none, yet the shadow of suspicion lingered far longer than Peter would have liked. The emotional toll was just as heavy. Peter had always valued honesty and straightforwardness, especially in an industry where pride and ego often clashed. The incident left him feeling disillusioned, making him question who truly stood in his corner. Weeks later, while speaking on a podcast, he shared how the moment had shaken his trust. Still, during this difficult time, a wave of encouragement poured in. Supporters filled his social media with warm messages, praising his grace under pressure. Fellow collectors reached out privately, offering words of reassurance. Even with the outpouring of kindness, Peter couldn't ignore the reality that the episode had forced him to reassess his circle, especially under the public eye. Trust, once damaged, would not be easy to restore. Months after the televised tension, he decided to take a step back, not only from the spotlight, but also from the weight the whole matter had placed on him. Looking back, he realized it had been a wake-up call. In his view, the lesson was clear. In this business, people don't always reveal their true selves until it's too late. Instead of holding on to resentment, Peter chose to channel the experience into growth. He redoubled his focus at legendary motor car, ensuring every aspect of his operations remained fully transparent and beyond doubt. His attention to detail became sharper than ever, and his standards, already high, became unshakable. At the same time, he became more cautious when it came to collaborations, particularly those that played out in front of cameras. As for Dennis Collins, Peter decided there would be no further conversation. Some situations in his mind could be moved past quietly without revisiting them. He believed in protecting his peace and keeping his focus on what mattered most. In order to understand the possible cause of this unexpected rift, let's explore the background of Dennis Collins. The untold journey of Dennis Collins. Dennis Collins has spent decades building his name as one of the most respected figures in the classic and exotic car world. Based in Wiley, Texas, he is best known as the owner of Collins Bros Jeep, a company he founded in 1984. The business originally focused on repairing and restoring Jeep vehicles, but under Dennis's leadership, it grew into one of the largest suppliers of Jeep parts and accessories in the United States. Over the years, his passion for automobiles pushed him far beyond the Jeep niche, leading him into the buying, selling, and restoring of rare and collectible cars, a venture that gave him worldwide recognition among car enthusiasts. From the very beginning, Dennis showed a knack for spotting undervalued vehicles that would later be appreciated in both historical and monetary value. His YouTube channel, Dennis Collins Cars, became a favorite for those interested in car hunts, restoration projects, and in-depth looks at rare vehicles. He has traveled across the country, sometimes internationally, to acquire cars with fascinating backstories, including high-performance muscle cars, limited production sports cars, and well-preserved classics. His on-screen personality, friendly yet deeply knowledgeable, made his videos both educational and entertaining. Before his solo rise, Dennis was widely recognized for his appearances on the reality TV show Fast and Loud, which aired on Discovery Channel. He often collaborated with Richard Rawlings, the owner of Gas Monkey Garage, in finding unique cars to buy and restore. One of the most famous examples was their acquisition of the Bullitt Mustang, a car connected to Steve McQueen's iconic 1968 film, Bullitt. This purchase made headlines around the world and solidified Dennis's status as a serious player in the collector car market. But Dennis's relationship with Richard Rawlings wasn't purely a business arrangement. They had been friends for decades before television fame. They worked on numerous deals together, often appearing on camera to negotiate, banter, and share their deep passion for cars. When Fast and Loud ended and both men went in different directions professionally, rumors swirled about a possible rift. However, Dennis has largely avoided public disputes and continued focusing on his own projects, making it clear that he prefers to let his work speak for itself. Interviews and appearances since then have suggested that while they may not collaborate as often as before, there is no open hostility. They simply followed separate business paths with mutual respect still in place. Dennis's work ethic is one of the reasons he has managed to keep a steady presence in the automotive industry for so long. He's known for waking up early, hitting the road to check out leads, and being heavily involved in every stage of the buying and restoration process. He doesn't just delegate. He personally inspects vehicles, negotiates deals, and follows through on restorations until the finished product meets his high standards. This hands-on approach has earned him trust among collectors, dealers, and car lovers everywhere. In addition to his Jeep business and YouTube ventures, Dennis has also broken records in the collector car auction scene. He has been part of numerous headline-making sales, sometimes paying record prices for rare cars and other times selling them at impressive returns. His understanding of market trends and his ability to predict which cars will gain value is part of what sets him apart from other collectors. This skill isn't just based on luck. Dennis studies production numbers, historical significance, and even cultural trends that influence buyer interest. One aspect of Dennis's life that adds depth to his public persona is his commitment to preserving automotive history. While many buyers and sellers in the car market focus purely on profit, Dennis often purchases cars simply because they are rare, historically significant, or too important to risk losing to neglect. Some of the cars he acquires are placed in private collections or museums, ensuring that their stories remain accessible to future generations. Dennis Collins's continued success can be credited to his adaptability. The automotive industry is constantly changing, with shifts in consumer interests, environmental regulations, and economic conditions all influencing the market. Yet Dennis has managed to keep his business relevant by embracing new platforms like YouTube, expanding his network of contacts, and staying deeply connected to car culture. Even as electric vehicles gain popularity, he remains a strong advocate for preserving the craftsmanship and mechanical beauty of traditional internal combustion engines. When it comes to Daniel Collins, details are less public, but he has been connected to Dennis through family and business ties. While not as high profile as Dennis, Daniel's presence in Dennis's circle reflects the strong family aspect behind Collins's work. The Collins Bros Jeep business has always had a close-knit environment, and Dennis' relationships, whether family or professional, often extend over decades rather than years. This long-term loyalty is another reason he maintains a positive reputation in the industry. As of now, Dennis continues to operate Collins Bros Jeep and run his YouTube channel, often showcasing multi-state car hunts where he and his team locate and retrieve rare finds. His videos remain popular because they aren't just about the cars. They're about the thrill of the hunt, the joy of discovery, and the deep respect for automotive history. It's clear that Dennis has no plans of slowing down anytime soon. His career has been built not just on business deals, but on an enduring love for automobiles and the stories they carry. As for Dennis's relationship with Peter Klutt of legendary motor car company, there's no sign they've reconciled, nor are they collaborating again. The popular fallout during a TV event may have affected their dynamic, but both men have moved forward in their own lanes. Dennis focusing on digital content, Jeeps, and real-world auctions. Peter on his restoration empire. Neither appears publicly at odds now. They simply share separate paths in the broader collector car universe. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.